Bakari, and I am the Urban Agriculture Manager with Appetite for Change. And we are at Freedom Farm in North Minneapolis. Our mission is to use food as a tool to build health, wealth, and social change. And our farm is just an extension of that. So our mission as the farm is to support our overall mission and just to grow food for the North Minneapolis community at low or no cost. One of the first things the AFC started doing since its inception 13 years ago is growing food. So it's changed a little bit since then. At one point, AFC had 11 plots in North Minneapolis, and since then we focused more on these 3 larger plots. But it started with these 11 smaller growing plots. They used to grow at these child care centers and partner with the families there. They used to do some more community garden kinds of things, aggregating from other growers in the community with access to markets. And since then, we've more recently focused on a more production-centric flow and focusing on our larger plots. At this site, we have our hoop house, which we're growing sweet potatoes and cucumbers. We have our large collard patch. We planted 800 collard plants in the spring. We have 2 different kinds of kale, okra, summer squash, hot peppers, sweet peppers, and our tomatoes. Myself and Liz, our facilitator, are both full-time staff, and then our 30 youth interns are out here twice a week throughout the summer. They're actually going back to school this next week. And then we do have some larger volunteer groups that come up throughout the summer as well to help. The youth work the farm stand. They do the transactions with the customers. They do everything from we call it seed to sale. So they help us plant the crops, they wash and process the vegetables with us, and then they also get the opportunity to sell them. They will also work the produce table and bag stuff for community members at the workshops, and they also package the meal boxes. So they put the veggies right into the meal boxes that go out to the community as well. We have 3 sites here in North Minneapolis. Freedom Works is our biggest site. It's home to our hoop house. We have another site on 43rd and Colfax. That's home to our deep winter greenhouse. And we have one smaller site, 801 Queen Ave North, and that's just a small plot in a residential area. Each of our 3 sites is different. Here at Freedom Farm, we partner with Freedom Works, and they lease this land to us for growing. At 4143 Colfax, we lease from Salem Lutheran Church. We've been partnering with them for the last 8 years, I think. And then 801 Queen Ave it's a community member, Shy Ellis, and she just allows us to use the land there. Freedom Works is a re-entry and care facility for men coming out of the criminal justice system. They have several different programs. Re-entry, sober housing, and they have a small plot up there where a few of the guys work with 2 master gardeners. We also do partner with them a little bit. We will donate excess from the field and they'll use it in their kitchens. We also had an event this year where we tabled and I gave away a bunch of collard greens, and so we try to connect whenever we can throughout the growing season. We get the food to the community through several different outlets. This year we've been partnering a lot with food shelves in the area, so we've been working with North Point. They have 200 people come through their food shelf every single week, and we've been supplying them with a bunch of fresh produce. We also have a meal box program. We have 100 meal boxes that go out to the community every week, so a lot of our produce goes into those boxes. It's not quite a CSA, but we do just a mix of fresh summer veggies, whatever's available. We also use the food in our cooking workshops, and we have a free produce table at those workshops where folks can take stuff home and cook there as well. And we have a monthly farm stand as well that we have down at 801 Queen Ave North. We grow a lot of collard greens, so flea beetles and cabbage worms are a big problem. This year we've used a few different strategies that helped. We did a trap crop in the beginning. So we planted a bunch of mustards on this side of the field several weeks before planting the collards. It drew in a lot of the flea beetles, so it helped them start sizing up before getting that pest pressure. Then with all the rain, the pests have been really bad, especially the cabbage worms. So we've been using BT, and occasionally we use pyrethrin too to knock down the flea beetle population. But there's been a couple other pests. The squash vine borers kind of totaled our squash patch. That's one I realized too late. I did surgery on them and pulled a bunch of them out, but it's kind of too little too late. So that's just another lesson for this year, or for next year. We've had issues in the past with the squash beetles transmitting the bacterial wilt on our squash plants. But this year we did netting, and then once they started flowering, we did the clay. So that's worked really well, have very few losses. So that's a big win for us this year. The arugula and the spinach we just planted for the fall, we netted. We netted the potatoes for the beginning part of the season before they grew too big, just because potato beetles are always a problem. So yeah, almost no damage on the potatoes, so that was awesome. Short-term goals is always just to fine-tune our production, become more efficient, deal with pest issues better, try to lower crop losses and things like that. We do have some long-term goals where we want to do some indoor growing, get into aquaponics. Our founder also wants us to purchase some land. We lease all our sites, so we want to purchase land in the city, and we also want to purchase a rural plot too, so that we can grow watermelon and corn and things like that, things that you need more acreage for. So those are some of our goals. Website or our social media is a great way to get in contact with us. Our website is afcmn.org. I actually am not on social media, so I don't know our social media handles, which is terrible, but if you looked on Facebook or Instagram, Appetite for Change, it'd be pretty easy to find us.